Sometimes we don't even realize that the little things we do each day, things we've done for years, might be quietly pushing people away from us. And as we get older, those small habits can start to matter more because our social circles tend to shrink, our family members get busier, and our opportunities for new friendships don't come as easily as they used to. You see, human connection is like a garden. It needs watering, care, and attention, or it slowly withers. But here's the good news. No matter your age, you can plant new seeds, revive old relationships, and keep people feeling drawn to your company. In fact, I'm going to share 5 common unintentional habits that seniors sometimes develop, habits that can unknowingly create distance between you and the people who matter most. And more importantly, I'll tell you exactly how to turn each one around so you can feel more connected, more valued, and more surrounded by love than ever before. And let me be clear, this isn't about blame or criticism. Every single one of us, at some point in life, picks up little habits we don't notice. It's human nature. But by the end of this conversation, you'll not only see these patterns, you'll also have simple, practical steps you can take right away to make your presence a source of warmth, joy, and comfort for the people in your life. The truth is, when you make these small changes, the effect is almost magical. Suddenly, people start calling more often, visiting more, lingering a little longer in conversation, and making you feel like the most cherished person in the room. And that, my friend, is something every single one of us deserves. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're sitting at a family dinner, and instead of feeling like an outsider or struggling to get a word in, you're in the center of the conversation. People are smiling at you, asking your opinion, laughing at your stories, and truly enjoying your company. Imagine having friends or family drop by just because they wanted to see you, or having neighbors wave you over to chat, or even strangers at the grocery store feeling drawn to strike up a friendly conversation. That's what happens when we consciously choose to let go of the little behaviors that push people away and replace them with habits that pull them closer. In the next few minutes, we'll gently uncover these 5 habits together. You may recognize 1 or 2 in yourself, or maybe even all 5, but instead of feeling embarrassed or defensive, I want you to feel empowered, because noticing them is the first step toward creating deeper, more fulfilling relationships. I'll guide you with kindness, giving you real-life examples and easy ways to make small changes that can have a huge impact. Whether it's adjusting the way we share our opinions, rethinking how we talk about our health, finding the right balance between independence and asking for help, learning to listen more fully, or adding a spark of curiosity to conversations, each step you take will bring you closer to the people you love. And here's my promise. These changes don't require money, they don't require big sacrifices, and they don't require you to become someone you're not. They just require a little self-awareness, a little willingness to try something new, and the belief that it's never too late to become the kind of person others can't wait to spend time with. So let's talk about these 5 ugly habits. Not because you are ugly, but because they're like little smudges on a window that's blocking the view of your bright, beautiful self. And together, we'll wipe them away so the world can see you for the wonderful, vibrant, lovable person you truly are.
The first habit is talking too much about aches, pains, and illnesses. It's completely natural to share what you're going through, especially when health becomes a bigger part of daily life. And it's important to have people who listen with compassion when you need support. But here's what often happens. If every conversation starts with, "Oh, my back is killing me," or "You won't believe what the doctor said this week," people may begin to brace themselves for a heavy, draining chat. Over time, that can make them pull away, not because they don't care, but because they associate your presence with negativity or discomfort. The fix isn't to hide your reality or pretend you feel great when you don't. Instead, balance it. Share a health update if you need to, but follow it up with something uplifting. Maybe a funny story from your past, something beautiful you saw on your morning walk, or a new recipe you tried. The goal is to make sure your presence leaves people feeling lighter, not weighed down. That balance makes them more likely to want to spend time with you, and it keeps the focus on the parts of you that are vibrant, not just the parts that hurt. The second habit is unintentionally dominating conversations. Sometimes, without meaning to, we can slip into talking more than we listen, especially when we have so many stories to share or wisdom to pass on. But if most conversations revolve around our own experiences, people might feel there's no space for them to be heard. This can be especially true with younger family members who want to feel their opinions and stories matter too. The simple fix? Practice what I like to call curious listening. That means asking open-ended questions, letting the other person finish their thoughts without interruption, and showing genuine interest in their lives, even in the small details. If your granddaughter tells you about a silly thing that happened at work, lean into it, ask her how it made her feel, and resist the urge to quickly follow it up with, "Oh, that reminds me of when I," right away. Give her story room to breathe. People are drawn to those who make them feel heard and valued, and curiosity is the doorway to deeper connection. The third habit is focusing too much on the way things used to be. It's perfectly natural to reminisce. Memories are treasures, after all. But when conversations constantly circle back to, "in my day," or "things were better when," it can make younger people feel as though their world today is being judged or dismissed. It can also create an invisible wall where they stop sharing their experiences because they feel they can't measure up to the past. The fix is to blend your stories with openness to the present. Instead of just talking about how much better music was decades ago, ask what music they're into today and see if they'll share a favorite song with you. Instead of insisting your way of doing things is the only right way, try saying, "That's interesting. Tell me more about how you do it." It doesn't mean abandoning your values or experiences. It means using them as a bridge to connect generations instead of a wall that separates them. The fourth habit is unintentionally giving off an air of constant criticism. Sometimes, especially when we want the best for people, our advice can come out sounding more like judgment. It might be about how someone dresses, how they raise their kids, or the choices they make. But repeated, unasked-for advice can leave people feeling defensive or inadequate, even if our intentions are good. The fix is to shift from advice giving to encouragement unless someone specifically asks for your opinion. If you see something that worries you, try framing it with empathy. "I care about you, and I wonder if you've thought about," instead of "you should." Small changes in tone and language can make a huge difference in how people receive what you say. Over time, this creates an atmosphere where people feel safe coming to you, not avoiding you. The fifth and final habit is withdrawing too much, whether physically or emotionally. Sometimes as we get older, we stop initiating contact because we feel like if they want to see me, they'll reach out. But relationships are like fires. They go out if no one tends to them. If you wait for others to make the first move every time, some relationships will fade, not because people don't care, but because life is busy and they assume you're fine. The fix here is simple but powerful. Take the lead sometimes. Call a friend just to say hello. Invite your neighbor for coffee. Send a text to your grandchild to wish them luck before a test. The more you show that you value connection, the more connection you'll receive in return. You might be surprised at how quickly people start making more of an effort when they feel you're making one too. When you let go of these 5 habits, dwelling too much on health complaints, dominating conversations, clinging only to the past, being overly critical, and withdrawing too much, you open the door to warmer, richer relationships. You become the person people feel better after being around, the person they want to include, the person they seek out for joy and comfort. And the beauty of it all is that it's never too late to start. Even if you've been doing these things for years, you can make a change today. Start small. Pick just one habit to focus on for the week ahead. Notice how people respond. Let that encouragement carry you into the next habit and the next. Over time, you'll see a transformation, not just in how others treat you, but in how you feel about yourself. You'll feel more connected, more valued, and more alive. Because at the end of the day, relationships are the real treasures of life. And when you nurture them, they will nurture you right back.